don't have to be updated with what's happening in the market because the dividends would be credited on a quarterly basis for you. I say that it's less volatile. However, also, please do remember that you also have to study the company. It's an edge that AC Energy is run and owned by Ayala, and it adds a credibility towards it. And if you've been following me for quite some time, if there's one company that's highly credible, that has good governance and good leadership, and has had a very good track record, Ayala is part of it. And I think to everyone who have been following me for passive income, you all know that the stock market via dividend investing is one of the best ways for you to be able to get cash flow on a regular basis without trading, without speculating, without thinking about what will happen to the price. And if you are a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a business person, this is something that will work. And one of the ways also for you to be able to find stocks that give good recurring dividends are preferred shares. What's interesting about preferred shares, and please do remember this, that it functions like a bond in a way that you would get recurring income, but it's not a bond because you are the owner of the stock, and what you're getting is portions of the revenue in form of dividends, which I think is also good because it gives you a 10% return. Now, that being said, we have another preferred share listing, and this is via AC Energy. So they will be listing 2 preferred shares. I'll talk more about that in a bit, but do remember this, that even if preferred shares are relatively less volatile versus common stocks, do also remember that preferred shares, that if you hold on to them, you get income, you get cash flow, which is something that you can't get for some common stocks. Do remember that there are common stocks that give dividends, but you don't know what yield you would get on year 3, on year 4, or on year 5. And it also will depend on what price that you're buying it. For this, you will have already a fixed price because it's just listing. And if you buy it at the listing also, you have expectation, whatever the APY is for that, that would be your yield. There's an expectation of predictability. There's an expectation also of, you know what you're getting, and you don't have to be scared if the market drops because you will get your cash flow. This will be effective for people who are retiring, or even if you're not retiring but you just want to live passively. I think this is one way for you that, for example, if you're going to another place, say you're moving to the US, you're moving to Europe, or you'll just be busy with what other things that you're doing, you don't have to be updated with what's happening in the market because the dividends would be credited on a quarterly basis for you. I say that it's less volatile. However, also, please do remember that you also have to study the company. It's an edge that AC Energy is run and owned by Ayala, and it adds a credibility towards it. And if you've been following me for quite some time, if there's one company that's highly credible, that has good governance and good leadership, and has had a very good track record, Ayala is part of it. And I think they bring that brand along with them for AC Energy as well. Regardless if it's an Ayala-owned company, you still have to do your own due diligence because at the end of the day, it's still a business. At the end of the day, there's still risks attached to it. So I'm just saying that as compared to other common shares and as compared to other dividend stocks, preferred stocks will give you a passive return. It won't give you any upside if you hold on to it up until maturity, but it does possess a risk also, as there are some stocks that somehow in the middle of them issuing the preferred share, in the middle of it being out, they suddenly just stop giving the dividends. So be wary that those would happen as well. So that being said, here are some details of it. And do note also that your broker, your online platform, will give you access to it. But please do remember also that this is something that's time sensitive, that if you want to participate and own it prior to the listing, you have to actually subscribe. So there are 2 preferred shares via AC Energy. Number 1 is ACEN A, number 2 is ACEN B. They're both available for whatever platform that you have. They will all be listed on the same dates. I'll give the dates later. But the only difference between them is the rate of return and then the time before it actually matures. So always do remember our principles in investing. The ones that will give you maybe a larger amount of uncertainty because maybe you're holding, you'll have to leave it for a longer period of time, should compensate you and give you a higher rate of return. Again, I'll reiterate also that the returns that are given here still are less 10% tax. For ACEN A, the offer period is already starting by now. It should be around August 9, 10, then maybe up until next week, August 16. So make sure to check out your broker your platform to be able to subscribe to it. What are the minimum shares for you to be able to participate? 100 shares is the minimum number of shares for you to be part of the listing, and both ACEN A and ACEN B are both 1,000 pesos each. So you just multiply it, 1,000 times 100. That's a total amount that you will have to invest for you to be able to participate in this listing. Of course, when it already lists in the market, you can buy it with a minimum amount, also with the minimum board lot as well, but price will already be subjected to whatever market forces are available. The price is 1,000 pesos. ACEN A is also 1,000. ACEN B is 1,000. Minimum shares for you to buy is 100, then 100 also. Now, here's the difference. For ACEN A, the redemption date is after 3 years. For ACEN B, the redemption date is after 7 years. So, of course, if you're thinking about ACEN A is 3 years, the dividend yield for ACEN A should be smaller than the dividend yield that you would be getting for ACEN B as well. So, ACEN A, 3 years, dividend is 7.1330 per annum, less 10% withholding tax. ACEN B, the duration is 7 years, and the dividend yield is 8%, less the withholding tax of about 10%. So 7.1330 for ACEN A and 8% for ACEN B. Again, it will depend on what situation you are in. If you don't plan to touch the money and you want to really get the cash flow off of it, and then you have other investments, you have savings also, and then you have other things that should there be an emergency, you wouldn't have to really withdraw this, and it matters to you that you earn more, then ACEN B would, of course, give you a higher rate of return in spite of it being locked at a longer period of time. Those are the details about AC Energy A and AC Energy B. Again, please do your own due diligence, do your own research. You can contact your broker for specifics on how it will be done, but mostly it will be debited from your account. Make sure also that when you subscribe, you have enough funds in your cash account, in your cash balance, for your broker, so that when the time comes that it will be debited, you get the allocations that you also want as well. And do remember also that I do think the yield is higher, relatively higher. So I don't know, there might be a larger demand also for this. Just something to keep in mind as well. There, I hope that this is something that gave you an update on more passive income sources, more stocks that will give you dividends. I think this fits for people like me that are old already, that are getting older, and you want a diversification play, and you want cash flow also, and you want to preserve what you have, or you want a more passive lifestyle. I think this is something that works. But that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and do let me know. Put it in the comment section. Do you like preferred shares? Do you like ACEN preferred shares? And if you have any questions, put it down below. So see you all again soon. God bless you all.